Hello and welcome to Excel in Everything YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to show how to look up data from multiple sheets at once, using the sheet name as a variable input. In this example, we have sales data for 6 products by month for 10 different countries in separate sheets. If you want to make a summary table like this extracting data for each country using the usual VLOOKUP formula, then you need to type one formula for each country. The formula I'm going to explain now, which is called the indirect formula, will help us to extract data at once from respective sheets for each country at once. In addition, I will explain a method to get a list of sheet names instantly, in this example the 10 countries which become the input for our formula, without needing to type them in manually. Let's get started. We need to first note the cell range where we need to pull the data from, which is A1 to G8. Now we'll type in the formula as equals VLOOKUP, open brackets, cell B4 is the lookup value, and we'll give an absolute cell referencing to freeze the column reference by pressing F4 button on the keyboard thrice, comma. Now instead of giving a table array straight away, we are going to create a dynamic table array using the indirect function. Let's type plus, indirect, open brackets. We will follow the guideline that you can see on the screen now to complete the formula. Open quotation mark, apostrophe, close quotation mark. Type ampersand. Now we will link the cell which contains the relevant sheet name, so when we copy the formula to the next column, sheet name in the VLOOKUP formula also will change accordingly. Type F4 twice and freeze the row reference. Again type an ampersand. Within quotation marks type apostrophe and exclamation mark. Type an ampersand and then within quotation marks, give the cell range we noted down earlier, from where we need to pull the data from. Let's type A1 to G8 with a colon mark in between. Remember to add the dollar signs before each letter to make it an absolute cell reference. Close brackets. We are done with the indirect function now. We need to complete the rest of the VLOOKUP formula. Put a comma. We'll type 2 as the column index number so that it will return April data for us from the sample. Comma. Type 0 for an exact match. And then close brackets, and press enter. Now let's copy this formula across the entire table, and you will see how it is extracting data for respective worksheet for each country. Let's check view. Product A sales for Australia in the month of April is $12,748. Product D sales for South Africa in April is $21,523. Isn't this a cool way to look up across multiple sheets at once? Now let me explain the logic of the indirect function. What you see now is a comparison of the indirect formula to a usual VLOOKUP formula, and how each element we typed in is building up the elements of a usual VLOOKUP formula. Quotation marks are used to add text elements such as apostrophe and exclamation mark. Ampersand is used to combine each element together. As we have given a dynamic cell reference as the sheet name, indirect formula dynamically refers to the respective sheet, in this example it is a country, and identify the table array. For example, if I copy this part of the formula to each column, you can see how it is dynamically identifying the correct sheet name and the arguments. Let me introduce one more interesting addition to the VLOOKUP formula. This summary table is showing sales data for April month across different countries. If I want to make the month a dynamic input, we can use match formula to identify the relevant column index number. Type plus, match, open brackets. Let's give the lookup value as cell C1 and press F4 to freeze it. Comma. Go to one of the sheets and select the table array from A1 to G1 and type F4 to make it an absolute cell reference. Comma. And type 0 to make it an exact match. Close brackets. Press enter. Now let's type in any month in the cell C1. Match formula will give the respective column index number dynamically, which we have given as 2 in the VLOOKUP formula currently. Now let's replace the 2 with the match formula like this, and copy the formula across the table. With this, we have made both the sheet name and the month name a dynamic input to the VLOOKUP formula. Let's type in any month. The summary table will show the respective output. I will explain one more trick. If you want to automatically generate a list of sheet names, copy the replace formula that I have given in the description below. Go to Formula tab and select Define Names. In the Names field, type Sheet Names Example. Paste the copied formula in the Refers to field. Select OK. In row number 2, we need to key in the sheet numbers. For example, Sri Lanka is in sheet number 2. UK is in sheet number 3, and so on. Let's delete those manually typed sheet names and get them generated automatically. Type equals index, open brackets. Type sheet names example, comma. Select C2 cell. And now press and hold Ctrl, Shift, and press Enter. Drag the formula to rest of the cells. You will see how it automatically generates the sheet names for you. This will come in handy especially when you have large number of sheets. Isn't this amazing? In summary, we have looked at how to VLOOKUP data from multiple sheets using the sheet name as a dynamic reference. Using the indirect formula and how match formula can be combined to get the column numbers dynamically. Similarly, assume that the sales data for 10 countries were in 10 different workbooks, instead of worksheets. We can still use the indirect formula, which I will explain in my next video. Hope you gained knowledge on advanced functions of the VLOOKUP formula. Please subscribe my channel for more videos like this. Share it amongst your friends. Thank you.